My name is Erdem. I am a fashion designer, and we are here at the Marianne North Gallery in Kew Gardens. And I'm on my way to meet Judd Crane, who is the Womenswear director at Selfridges. Hi, Judd.
Hey, Erdem. Glad we could be here today.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It was very much the starting point for my spring-summer collection, so I thought it would be a nice place to kind of walk you through my inspiration.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, let's go. Marianne North was a Victorian botanist, and this is a gallery that she built really to hold all of her botanical studies. She was this extraordinary woman who traveled around the world documenting plants. I found her really interesting. I love the idea of this woman who's completely obsessed with one thing and kind of studies something again and again and again. I thought there's something so interesting about her.
Do you find that parallels you in any way?
I'm quite obsessive.
I mean, the reason I ask is because someone might assume that your inspiration was actually from the artwork itself,
Yeah.
and less about the person who created it.
I really, if I'm being totally honest, looked more at the actual botanical studies towards the very end of the collection. The starting point was really this idea of this woman and who she was, and this idea of this strong, independent person who had a great sense of adventure, and also this idea of something kind of becoming kind of quite undone. I loved the idea of the kind of Victorian strictness, and there was certainly like a kind of buttoned upness to the collection, but then also counteracted with something that feels really kind of undone. And I don't know, she kind of became more and more wild as the show progressed.
When you think of inspiration, the inspirations you get for your collections, for example, how does that actual process work? Does kind of current pop culture inspire you?
Absolutely. I just went to Miami and went to Art Basel, which is extraordinary. I love art fairs and looking at things like photography specifically. I love photography. It's rare that you'll see something that you totally extract something from. I always think it kind of like goes somewhere in the back of your head, and suddenly it'll pop out like even a few years later or a month later, and it'll inform something in a way that you don't even expect it to. I think so much of what I do has a lot to do with this kind of almost like a dream of someone, or this like kind of vague abstract idea of a character. I've always been intrigued by the idea of cinema and the idea of kind of almost like a show feels like something's about to happen or something's just happened, and I do think that has a lot to do with my childhood. I grew up in Canada in the suburbs of Montreal, so I spent a lot of time in my basement kind of daydreaming as a child. I think I always had these kind of odd ideas of what Paris was like or London, and I don't know, I think I spent a lot of time daydreaming, and I think that has a lot to do with my work now in a weird way.
Do you daydream now?
All the time. I'm daydreaming right now.